Hello, I'm Andre.
And I'm Andrea, and we're doing Doctor Who.
And we just finished watching The Aztecs, which is my favorite story from season 1.
Yes.
I so love The Aztecs. So this one, you had mentioned while we were watching it that it was the first one that had glimpses of humor in it.
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting because this is probably the most serious story of the bunch, of the entire first season. I mean, there's such a complexity and weight to this story. That and it's such a great story for Barbara, which is why I like it.
Barbara's like our hero in this.
Barbara is the story. It all revolves around her. Yeah. So, I mean, what did you think of Barbara? Do you think she was right?
Ooh, I don't know. Oh God. I mean, she was trying to change history, which I'm guessing we're going to find out. Well, I don't know. You won't answer this question, but I'm guessing we're going to find out they can't do that. Can't change history. But I don't know if she was right. I mean, that's basically she was trying to save a civilization from their own actions and from their own way of life. But America tries to do that all the time, you know, like it was kind of amazing to me that this was made, you know, such a long time ago, and yet this is sort of still an issue that we're constantly contemplating. You know, do you let people sort of self-destruct, or do you get involved? And in the end, she sort of had to just lay it down and was like, we failed, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know if she could save them, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, she changed one mind, but I don't know if she could save them all.
A lot of the complexity of the story is balanced off between Tlatoxel and Otlok as sort of the two sides of this civilization.
Yeah.
And it's the first time in the show that the villain wins in a lot of ways. That Tlatoxel actually comes out ahead because he has to.
Yeah.
Because that's the way history goes.
Right. So. I mean, he wins, but what is it?
Otlok. Yeah.
Otlok. Sort of has like a personal victory. You know, he ends up sort of like realizing the wrongs of his civilization and going off into the woods to live alone. So I mean, he doesn't win, but he sort of has this whole personal revolution or whatever, which is kind of cool to see.
And that's that beautiful moment between the Doctor and Barbara at the end where he explains that to her was one of my favorite moments for those two.
Yeah.
Can we take a moment and deal with how fantastic Jacqueline Hill was in this story? She's Barbara.
Yeah.
She
was amazing. Yeah, like just I mean, the script was really nice for her for this one because she really like took charge. But you see this whole other part of her like character and personality. Like she becomes the hero. Like we've seen Ian be the hero a lot, which we see in this one as well.
Yes.
Ian becomes a warrior, but Barbara really like shows how smart she is. She really like becomes a warrior herself, actually. I mean, she gets hardcore. Like I'm like, there was a couple times where I was like, go Barbara. Like she's really put it out there and was like basically like in charge of all of them, and I don't know, it was cool to see Barbara that way.
And that's what makes the ending really work for me when it falls apart on her and she can't fix it, is because she gave it everything she had.
Yeah.
She gave this attempt to save a civilization that she really, it's one of her specialties. She said at the beginning, so it's a civilization she studied and that she knows a lot about and has a great affection for.
Yeah.
And she gave it everything she had to save them, and it didn't work.
Right. This was really kind of like Barbara's episode because her character is a history teacher, and they were able to like work that into her, you know, pretending like she was this god, but having all this information where they were trying to test her and trip her up on it, and she actually knew all of that. That was kind of cool to like, it was like, oh, there's some character, like long-term character building. That's nice.
It is nice.
Yeah.
So what did you think about the way that John Ringham had played Tlatoxel? Because to me it was sort of like Richard III and Shakespearean and over the top. Did that work for you?
I thought he was really creepy, if that's what he was going for. The hunchback thing was odd. I guess it worked for me because I disliked him, and I think that was the purpose. They're sort of like a warrior type people, and he just seemed really like just like a creep.
Yeah,
like he seemed like
right.
a more crypt keeper or something.
Right,
it was odd.
Like how did he even get into this position? You know?
Yeah. Like it seemed like the gods were sort of like warrior types, right. And he was all like creepy face paint guy. Like it was weird.
Yeah, you're gonna find a lot of that in Doctor Who, where there's at least one character who probably should have toned it down a little bit. And in this case, it was him, but it worked for me. You know, I liked sort of his sneering at the camera and his hands together.
He like looked right into the camera. I will kill her.
Yeah, like, it certainly did.
Oh, yeah. I believe you.
Yeah. So on the other end of the scale, of course, is Otlock. And so what did you think about him?
I really liked him. Yeah. I thought him and Barbara's relationship was really nice and seemed authentic.
As sort of the soul of that civilization, though, I think he does a really good job portraying that, where he's, he has faith in Barbara as Yetaxa, and it won't be shaken, and then when it is, he's really got to question everything that he's ever believed. He's going to go off and find out,
Yeah, and you could see the sort of like turmoil in Barbara, where that's like her only friend. Mm-hmm. And she's so severely deceiving him. Yeah. And it's for a greater cause, but like at the end, she feels terrible. You can tell she feels terrible about it, because he's the only one who had faith in her that she was actually a god, and she's not. You know what I mean? So that was
exactly. Yeah. So with all this heavy stuff, it was fun to watch the Doctor and Kameka.
Well, I think that because of all the heavy stuff and because of how well done these episodes were, I think it sort of earned its like comedic moments. Like it earned its comedic relief. Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was like the comedic moments were awesome. It's the first time I've seen them be like purposely funny. There have been funny episodes, but because of bad effects and such things, but this was like purposeful humor. Right. And
Hartnell's really good at it. Yeah. Hartnell's really funny. Yeah. It's rare that he gets the chance to be really funny.
Yeah, I loved his face when she was like, "You've drank the cocoa, so you've pledged your love to me," and he's like like it's like a big wide-eyed face.
Yes, I made some
and
cocoa.
He's like, yes, I made some cocoa and I got engaged. Yeah, Ian's like, what did you do? Well, I made some cocoa and I got engaged. And Ian's like, great, what? So yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Those were marvelous moments for me. The whole story to me is just full of little marvelous moments, though. I think it's such a well-considered story and such well plotted and well balanced. And I mean, it's slow, like you had said. I mean, it's the whole thing could have been done in 25 minutes if they wanted to, but I like the way that they did it. I like the way that it slowly unfolded, and you watched. You got time with the characters. That really great conversation at the beginning of episode 2 between the Doctor and Barbara, where he's yelling at her for trying. You can't rewrite history, not one line. I mean, that scene is extraordinary. I think that's beautifully done.
I think in these episodes you got to know the characters a lot more. Like, Barbara's reaction to that, where she was just like, just leave me alone. Like, you're seeing them, it seemed like in the first, like, few stories, they're still kind of getting to know each other. At this point, it feels like they're just saying, he yelled at her. They're having, like, actual fights, and, you know what I mean? Like, the Doctor isn't just being a jerk and then walking away. He's like yells at her with reason, kind of, and then apologizes when he sees her upset. Yeah. So it's like I'm seeing a transformation of his character. Don't hate him anymore.
They've all come to care about each other, though, and I think it's really nice to see.
Took a while, except for Ian and Barbara. They always cared about each other.
That is true. Yes. That is true. 1960s television.
They're so a couple.
They are just so
like, can we just address this, please?
There's no question that they're a couple. Yeah. So Super Warrior Ian, too.
I know, right?
Superhero guy.
Ian is like, I'm like...
Science teacher. He's got the Vulcan neck pinch going on.
Do all science teachers get trained in battle?
It's a good question. So high marks for the Aztecs. Yes. We like the Aztecs a great deal. Good, good. Yep. That's good. Hang on to that feeling, because next week we're going to do the censor rights.
I heard this is when I'm going to give up.
Yeah,
so.
this is everybody's prediction as to where you exit. You're not gonna make it through the censor.
How many episodes?
It's 6.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
okay. All right.
So that's it. Thanks very much, folks. We'll see you next time.
Bye.